Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Everything is Crap. We're on Pressure 3, and we're just gonna get right into it. Let's see. Looks like we still have the same mutations. Um, let's go with the more points of interest and the patient again. Skipping seemed weird, but not too bad. Let's see what we can get this time. Hopefully, looks like they're not going to attack us too early on, but not a lot of vegetables or fruit out at the moment. We might have to leverage fighting some people to level up here. Well, it's unfortunate that this is such high rank, because we don't really want that. I guess, you know what? Let's skip. I think it's risky skipping early, especially since we're getting attacked here already, but it shouldn't be too bad. Maybe we'll get like an attack or something early and we can leverage that. Wow, it gave us that epic fur again. Antlers. Headbutt attack that deals physical damage but self-damages. I've never really gone into imposing. Let's give it a shot. I know things it makes you like bigger and stuff like that. Maybe we can see how big we get. It'd be an interesting thing maybe to get so big, that can't even see us or something. And this is a physical. Wow. I guess we're gonna skip again. It seems not very ideal. We're level 3, and we've effectively only gotten 1 level's worth of bonuses, But, hopefully it pays off. Okay, regeneration. That'll help us, stay alive since we're self-damaging ourselves. And it'll add more to that imposing tree so that we can, maybe get bigger or something. Well, I guess we're gonna keep going more regenerating. I mean, if with regenerating, I'm not particularly that great at dodging the bosses or anything like that, so maybe just having a bunch of health regen and not worrying about it maybe wouldn't be too bad for me. Let's see. Okay, it is now night, and we have no senses, so we'll just go feed speed so we can barely see at night. That is unfortunate. Either gonna have to wait for some stuff to come to us, or just roam around in the dark. And we'll upgrade our antlers. Let's see. A lot of scraps going around. Oh, looks like the new level of enemies have started spawning. Yeah, the fact that we're already almost one-shotting some enemies. Yeah, let's do a comparison here. So Jaws is another physical attack, and it does 0.6 to 1.1 of our physical, where Antlers do 1.6 to 1.8 physical. So it is significantly more damage. Let's reroll. I guess we're taking more regeneration. Yeah, like the fact that we're one-shotting these guys or almost one-shotting them at this point seems very, very good. Looks like the rain. Okay, well, it didn't rain that long, so we never got waterlogged, so our cooldowns weren't too long. Since we have so much regeneration, maybe going into I guess we'll go antlers, but we'll try not to take it after that, because if we take more than that, we won't be able to upgrade it to max. And it kind of seems like an all or nothing kind of type build, where you just do so much damage that it doesn't matter that you are taking damage, which seems nice. Oh, that guy dropped us some mutation points. Body Slam. It's another imposing, close range attack that deals physical damage and scales with your max HP. Well, we'll give it a shot. I mean, imposing is all about getting big and bulky with max HP and stuff. Ooh, 2 elites here. This might be questionable. Okay, we got one quickly. Wow, that is much more damage than we're used to doing. Okay, we have antlers. We have enough points to evolve it. Let's go ahead and make it an epic. And hopefully, you know, we can make it a legendary and it just, I mean, just do so much damage. Okay, yeah, because see, these are what I'm talking about. So, like, with imposing, it increases size and physical, and this increases size, physical, and max HP. It's a shame that it's so low, both of these are so low level. How greedy do we want to get? So since this has max HP, size, and physical, and this is just size and physical, I think we'll take this and hope to get this higher, the other one higher, since, you know, it has more stats, so the higher it is, technically the more stats we're getting. We'll increase our physical by 5%, I mean, that's what we're doing. Mushroom. We didn't identify it, let's not worry about that. Ah, okay, so that guy was able to hide, so we don't get that elite. What about this mushroom? Poisonous. Okay, definitely not eating that. Boss should be coming up here soon. Wow. We're going a big boy with max HP, and we get the legendary version of gaining max HP when we eat healing food. That is, I mean, you know, sometimes with roguelikes, sometimes it's just about getting lucky, and you know, we're not gonna complain. Yeah, let's see how much damage we can do to this boss here. So we do gotta punch through its armor first. Wow, that's around 20%. Oh, that might even be more. A little more than 20%. I mean, honestly, I think we can just stand here and... Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is so much damage. That is crazy. This has our imposing, and it does increase our size and our max HP. But it does look like this is more for... Because this unlocks, increases you and your allies' damage by 3% for each charged animal. So this seems more like having a bunch of allies. But do we want to... We want to spend 10 of our mutation points to roll. You know what? Why not? Yeah, and we kind of got what I wanted, which is the feeding distance, physical, and ability. Speed is also fantastic, but that feeding distance just makes things much more convenient. You know, you don't have to try to kill things on top of each other to conveniently eat them, which is a crazy phrase. But yeah, there's some more elites up here. Honestly, we do so much damage that it seems like elite hunting to keep our to just get better thing or to get better mutations just seems like the correct play. I mean, regenerative tissue, I mean, just the tankier we are, I mean, it's funny, having been so, or, self-proclaimed bad at dodging and stuff like that, it seems like this kind of build would have made more sense to me, but I never really thought about it. It's one of those things where because I took so much damage on my own, the idea of then every time I attack losing HP was just like frightening almost. But I can see that maybe that wasn't the correct line of thinking. We'll take some plating, a little extra HP. The other thing that is interesting is, so it appears that the damage reduction for the imposing tree is makes it so you have poisonous mushroom, mystery mushroom, makes it so you can't. Sorry, train of thought. You know what? We're gonna upgrade and go more mass. Normally I would go cheek pouch, but we're a little weak right now. Have to play a little safe while our health regen ticks us back up. I can't tell if these guys are trying to come after me or... Okay, looks like they're avoiding me. Good, good. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So one of the things that is interesting is taking certain abilities closes off other abilities. So, just like, when you evolve in this game, it would make sense that you couldn't have a turtle shell and a bug shell. And the game heavily incentivizes you becoming crab, as, makes sense. But there are perks that get locked out of with that. So for instance, right here, shell. This gives imposing, which is what we want, and it gives a crustacean point. But if you see down here, it locks carapace. So that's interesting. Honestly, we're going to go ahead and just... As much as this seems really good, I don't really think the heat mutation or the heat adaptation and the cold adaptation are that good, as opposed to a high level damage reduction. I would be curious to know if the damage reduction stat applies to our self damage. That would be... that would be interesting. All these mystery mushrooms, especially after last episode where I took 50 damage from a poisonous mushroom and then died. Probably not the way to go. Okay. Yeah, here's another crab. It's an exoskeleton, and it blocks fur and scales. Muscle tissue is very good because that's physical. That's the damage type that we're currently doing. You know what? Let's go ahead and take physical. Even though we are kind of doing big damage already, I'm starting to notice that we're having to do like a 1-2 punch on some units. And this really does seem like a build where you want to hit things once and make sure they die, and then that allows you to, not take so much damage from self-inflicted. I think this is the first time in a while we're going to skip. We still have we still have 2 bosses left, so, it's not like right at the end we're skipping. We would just kind of lose out. Ooh, we're getting frostbite here. Oh, come on. Ah, he got away. Well, that's unfortunate, missing out on that elite there. I mean, cheek pouch is obviously good, and I feel like it's one of those things where it's almost too good. Like the fact that you can pick up food and then go about your business just is so strong that it almost feels incorrect to not take it. See if we can't identify mushrooms better. Oh, I'm slow. That is one thing about this build is, imposing. You think of elephants and stuff like that. It makes you slow, but add 0.6 of your plating to your damage. Well, we don't really have that much plating. Let's just go with arms and max it out and go from there. Negative size modifiers increase your dodge. Well, that is unfortunate because we're actually big, not small. So, man, this is unfortunate. I guess we're gonna skip again. It feels bad. See, look, we're not one-shot and stuff anymore. So yeah, we definitely, I think, need to get some more damage in. And I guess skipping doesn't really help that, but I guess nothing increased our damage there anyways. This could get unfortunate. This does kind of seem like one of those builds that, maybe it's more high roll, where you want to get as much stuff as quickly as possible. Oh, you know what? Exoskeleton, and we have the chance to upgrade it to legendary. That is good. So we are more crab-like. Ooh, I'm not sure. Oh, this boss does summon stuff, so just tanking it. Oh, well, I think fortunately for us, but unfortunately for the game, I guess, it does kind of unfortunately looked like the boss kind of glitched out there and just stood there, which is unfortunate, but I mean, I guess we'll take it. Let's upgrade our body slam, even more damage from our max HP. And I think basically at this point, we're just kind of going about and just see if we can't identify these more mushrooms. But at this point, I think we are just kind of going around. Well, we could become more crab or get more damage. I think, unfortunately, as much as I want to become crab, I think we are starting to fall off on our damage just a little bit. Oh, that said deafening. I thought that said defending, though I'm not sure that makes sense with a mushroom. The mushrooms are just strange. It feels like it takes a lot to identify them, and even the ones that are decent... Oh, that's what deafening is. Like, the level up noise was quieter, and I guess you can't tell when enemies are running at you. That's very funny. I'm not sure how actually detrimental that is, but hey, at least it doesn't deafen that good music that this game has. Just absolutely excellent music. Oh, I didn't see what that mushroom was. I guess we'll just take more plating. Yeah, that's another deafening mushroom. That's interesting. And I guess, it makes sense, right? You don't want to nocturnal. Increase damage during nighttime and increases your senses. That's interesting, but I don't think we fight bosses at night. Let's reroll. Okay, chunky, more size increase, more physical. Ooh, an elite cat and an elite fish thing, or I'm not sure what those are supposed to be actually. I just completely keep losing my train of thought. on damage taken, take 50% of the damage now and 50% of it self-inflicted in 1 second. I don't know what that does. I mean, I guess we have the regeneration, and I guess maybe it could save us if we were 1 second away from getting one shot, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sure, you know, this game has a lot of intricacies, and, you know, a lot of the stuff might not even be out yet. So, I mean, that could be very good later. A spicy mushroom. We'll take more speed here. You know what? Let's take the spicy mushroom and just see what it does. Oh, I see. So it gives us the heating effect. So like when we're in the desert and we could take damage from being too hot, that would, I'm assuming, stack with it normally, and so you could get that heat explosion much quicker and die much quicker from it. You know what? We're using antlers. Let's make them legendary, and let's see. Yeah, 2.7 to 3.2 times the amount of your physical. I wonder if that's like the strongest attack. Because yes, this is legendary, so it's kind of hard to compare. But even at rare with pincers, it's only 0.75 to 0.95. That seems very high. But you know, I guess we're just kind of. It's interesting. I would almost say we're doing the kind of defense where, you know, it can't kill us if it's dead, but also we have 200 HP. You know what? Let's see if we spawn a boss here. Let's reroll. Aha, more mass. So now we can level up more mass again to epic, and wow, that is substantial. We're so tanky, and we do so much damage that, I mean, you know, this build seems really good. Though I might waste it here if I do more plating. If I'm in the desert when the boss spawns, oh, oh, I see. So when you're overheated, like we are, oh, I don't know if being in the water is any better for if the boss spawns. I guess all being in the water does means you can't dodge, and I'm already not dodging, so maybe that's just what we're gonna do. Instead of dodging, become protected for a short time. Stuns the enemy when blocking their contact attack at the right time. So it's like a parry shield? You know what? We'll give it a shot. Why not? Oh, wading through this water is rough, even with our speed upgrade. There is, we didn't take them in the, when you get the branching evolution, because when you kill a boss, you get a big special evolution, you know. There is one for, it lowers the terrain penalty, so that might not be a bad idea if you wanted to. Let's take exoskeleton for more damage reduction. If you wanted to go around in the water, the enemies in there are pretty strong. Oh, I forgot we didn't have dodge. I did a weird turtle down thing here. Oh, okay. Well, looks like we're gonna be in the water anyways. You know what? We'll get our last legs upgrade. And you know what? We'll get crustacean right out of the gate. So this boss will... Oh wow, yeah, we just do 20% of even this third boss's attack. Wow. Huh. I have never done that build. Um, but it seemed very good. So it has up here your main prey, what you killed or what you did the most damage to and what did the most damage to you. It's funny, my main predator was me. I did 294 self damage because of antlers. Huh, that is so interesting. But that build seems great. Well, hey, this has been another episode of Everything is Crab. Wishlist it. The game's going to be coming out here in May. It's a great game, and there's still more to find out. Like, we don't even know. Like, there's an endless mode that's not available yet. I mean, and could you imagine how crazy that would be? Yeah. All right. You guys have a good rest of your day. See you next time.